Hi, this is Shreyas from Shine My Ride. So today I'm going to explain to you about what is PPF. In short, it is called as PPF. The full form is Paint Protection Film. So like all of us use smartphones, we have smartphones, and we on the day one we apply something called as a screen guard or a scratch guard or a tempered glass, what is happening today. PPF is something like that only. It's like a sticker which goes on all your paint, your lights, your glasses maybe. So all different areas you can apply PPF. PPF is nothing but a scratch protection film. So whenever someone tries to scratch your vehicle or scratch the paint, the first barrier is going to be that film. So let's say you are driving the car, some two-wheeler comes and rubs on your bumper. The first thing to get affected is going to be your PPF. So the main advantage of PPF is it will prevent scratches on the paint, but it itself will get sacrificed. What it means is the PPF itself will get torn. It will get into pieces, or it will maybe have a nice scratch, or it will part from some place, it will peel off from some place. So that is what PPF does. Now, why PPF is so expensive and why you should do it, or whether you should do it or not. Let us understand one thing. Now, let us assume a very common car in India, a very common sight in India is maybe a Seltos or a Creta or maybe a Honda City or a Slavia, you know, all these mid-sized cars. Now, let's say I'm driving a Creta and my paint is scratched. There is no PPF on my car and the paint is scratched. What is the thing you're going to do? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a little mad and you're going to go to the workshop and tell them, boss, this is scratched, so please repair it. And what he's going to do is he's going to repaint it. So he'll say whatever the costs are involved, and he'll tell you that this particular part has to be repainted. Now what essentially he's doing is he's scraping off your entire existing paint, he's filling up the scratches and all, and he's doing a fresh paint on your whatever part is damaged. What is the actual cost of a repaint of, let's say, something like a Creta or a Honda City at the authorized workshop? Like, we at Shine My Ride also offer repainting services, and our charges for any car will cost you anywhere between 60,000 to 1,20,000. So the max I am saying, even for an E-Class, should not go for more than 1,20,000 for the entire car I am talking about. So when there is one bumper or one door or something, or a bonnet which is damaged, the cost should be somewhere around, let's say, 10 to 15,000, not more than that. So when the cost is limited to this amount, when you calculate the cost of PPF, it goes to almost 70-80,000 plus. And if you go for something like a very good brand called Lumar or maybe Expel, the cost will run in lakhs. So cost will go something around 2 lakhs or 3 lakh rupees. Now when I am driving a car whose paint is not going to cost me more than, let's say, lakh and a half maximum, why will I apply a PPF which is almost costing the same price? Doesn't make sense, right? Like this phone is going to cost me, let's say, 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees when I buy a new phone. Will I apply a 20,000 rupees scratch guard on this phone? Doesn't make sense. Similarly, if you know what car you are driving and the paint cost of that car is not going to exceed maybe a lakh or 2 lakh rupees, why do you want to invest in PPF? First question. Okay, someone will tell me that, okay, I don't want any repainting job to be done on my car, and that is the reason I want to go for PPF, so that my paint will be protected always, right? Now there's no guarantee, obviously, because if you meet with a minor accident, God forbid, the panel is going to get damaged and you will have to claim insurance and you will have to get it repainted. But let's assume that nothing like this happens and there's no damage on the paint and only the PPF is getting damaged. Still, you will have to bear the cost of replacing that PPF. So let's say you put a full PPF on your maybe a C-Class Mercedes, and the bumper is scraped and the paint is intact but the PPF is damaged, and you go to your detailer and tell him remove the PPF and put a new PPF. he will not charge you less than 10,000. So with those kind of maintenance, are you ready to get into that? Please ask yourself, please answer this question, and only then go for PPF. Now you'll ask me, then why should we do PPF? Why are you doing PPF? Okay, PPF is an excellent protection against scratches only if your paint is worth protecting. Now I'm not saying all other paints are not worth protecting, but the cost today in market for all PPFs are very, very high. Let's say even if I go for a decent brand like Garware, the cost will run into at least 70 to 80,000 rupees for the entire car. Now if you're driving something like a C-Class or an E-Class, for which the entire repaint cost will run into maybe 4-5 lakh rupees, then it makes sense to spend about 70, 80, 90,000 or maybe a lakh on the PPF for protecting the paint. I completely agree with you. But if your car is something like let's say a Seltos or a Honda City or a Creta or a Harrier or a Safari or a Nexon, you know, all these regular not so expensive car, then spending about 70-80,000 or you know in that range for protecting the paint of your car, which will get repainted for the same amount, does not really make any sense to me. But still I leave the choice to you. There are other brands like OptiShield, like S-Guard, like many other brands are there which will give you good protection. The cost will be around, let's say 50-60,000 rupees, and the choice is yours. But for all these cars, I personally do not recommend to my clients you go for PPF. Instead, if you go for graphene coating, you get a much better value for money, and you get a much happier experience using graphene. So that's all from my side.